Hey, hey, what's the matter? With your mind so divine, never waste your time, no, no. Come get your sugar fix. You don't wanna miss it, feel the beat, that's true. Dancing through the night now, all we need is you. Come get that sugar love. Feel the groove within your heart, yeah. Sugar love, sweet as can be. Come get that sugar love. Come get that sugar love. Hey, hey, what's the matter? Hey, y'all, how you doing? Glad you came through. Welcome to the Sugar Love Show, where we have fun, fun, fun. Grab your friends and dance along. Join the party all night long. Get ready for a ride. Buckle up, hold tight. We're gonna ignite. Shake your body to the rhythm. Let the music take control. When the beat drops, you better lose control. We're here to make memories, create an unforgettable night. Forget about your worries. Let's spread the love and shine so bright. Welcome to the Sugar Love Show, where the energy is high. We're gonna dance till the morning light. Feel the music, let it flow through your legs. Come on, everybody, let's have fun, fun, fun. Hey y'all, how you doing? Glad you came through. Welcome to
Hey y'all, how y'all doing out here tonight? What's going on? How you doing? Hey, my Bush babies, don't forget to hit that like. Hello, my repay gang. Don't you forget to hit the like. Now let's see who up in this live tonight. We got Captain Obvious. How are you? Summer Breeze, Ebony, Angel, Spice, and we got my girl Angela. How are ya, baby? My man done went and got him an attorney. Uh-huh. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Hold on. Hold up. Wait. Uh-huh. Yes, he did. Now, I just want to show y'all what it says. Right? I'm just going to read it out to you guys. Whew. And then we're going to show you guys how, if the ex members don't step up, and them ex members, and I don't mean the ones who have testified, I mean all of them ex members, you need to rally. Because if he get a new court appeal, baby, it ain't going to be just a strong one. Y'all keep thinking, I mean, if you guys don't mind whatever happened to you and y'all want him free, not saying that he's going to get free, because we're going to go over the appeals and how does it work. But we have the new lady. Of course, it's a black woman. Of course. Of course. The same man who damned you, us women, to hell, of course, it's going to take a woman to bring him out. Right? They always talk about us. Oh, women don't need no education. They don't need to be lawyers. They don't need to be this, blah, 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 to the blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. But this is what this says, right? It says, new attorney as of 8/13/24. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's right here. State of Georgia versus Alessio Bishop. Criminal action number 24CR11836. Why? You go look it up yourself. Okay? Entry of apparent, substitution of counsel for defendant, and designation of address. Right? It says, come now under signed counsel pursuant to Uniform Superior Court Rule 4.3, and hereby notifies the court of her entry of appearance and substitution as appointee counsel on behalf of defendant. Caption above. Counsel respectfully requests that all notices directed to the defendant be provided to the undersigned as follows. Right? This was submitted on the 13th of August. Her name is Shantae D. Hightower, Esquire. Shantae. So, right, that is the name of his new attorney, y'all. Right? This is why I say y'all gonna have to stop playing. Right? Y'all gonna have to stop playing. Stop playing with it. Cause y'all, if that man going to show that he's going to keep fighting, even though we may feel that his life is signed, sealed, and delivered, but according to the law, it's not signed, sealed, or delivered. Right? It's just signed and sealed, He has been delivered, but the case ain't delivered, right? So we're going to check out. Let's go see what Miss Shantae, let's see what she all about, right? Let's go check her out really quick because they're trying to humanize him, which I'm going to show you guys in a little bit, right? They're trying to humanize her, right? This would be Miss Shantae. Uh-huh. This would be Miss Shantae. Hopefully, you guys can see her, right? This Miss Shantae. She is a trial lawyer. Uh-huh. Uh, let's see. She's a appeals lawyer. This would be her, right? This would be her. Let's see what else is her, right? Let's see what else is Miss Shantae, right? I am a lawyer licensed in the state of Georgia with experience litigating matters on both state and federal court. Now, what would make her pick this up, right? What would make her pick this up? I done knocked myself out. I don't know what I showed y'all. Yeah, I know y'all don't see her because I done knocked myself out. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. Sorry. I don't know. I believe it's the Wi-Fi, right? I believe it's the Wi-Fi. So I'm gonna show it again, right? I'm gonna show it again. Let's go look at Miss Shantae, right? Let's go look at her. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see it. Okay, let's go find her. This would be her. This is what she looks like. This is Miss Shantae. Shantae D. Hightower stands for Denise, right? I believe I read it to you guys. Hopefully you saw it where she has now taken over the case for Mr. whatever his name is, right? For Mr. Allegio. So, like I said, They are trying to humanize him, which I'm going to show y'all in the state of videos. So these videos is going to show you his 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 beginnings. It's going to make it seem like he was abused. Then it's going to make it seem like that is why he is today. Like I said, them ex-members bet to step up, right? If you were truly in the cult, you can't be like, oh, y'all can't leave this all on Janae, right? Can't leave it all on Janae. Y'all have to, you guys have to, like I told you guys before, have your own cases, right? Testifying is not enough, right? And they're going to sort of kind of, even though she broke everybody's heart, right? People are going, hey, I know, guys, I'm on. I ain't gonna be on too long. Y'all know I am tired. I got like 2 weeks left to be tired. After 2 weeks, I'll probably be untired, but I am tired. But hey, sissy, but Abraham, you need your own separate cases, and all the other ones. Yeah, I went on with my life. No, because he's not. He's. I thought he was signed, sealed, delivered. He is not. Right? He is not. I showed you guys. She is now on the case. She stepped in, and they're going to try to throw Booker under the bus. That's what they're going to do. They're going to try to say he was not represented right. That's what they're going to go with. Hey, I'm drying dreams, so I'll be listening. Oh, okay. They're going to try to throw Booker under the bus. But I don't know what they want Booker to do. Right? And then they're going to try to throw the word cult out the window. But again, according how we feel and how the law does it is two different things, right? By law. That's why you guys all need your own cases. They bet I keep Treasure, you need your own case. You were humiliated. You guys need to go tell your own stories. Y'all cannot throw this all on Janae. You cannot. You can't do it. I mean, you can do what you want to do, but you can't. Right? Now, we're going to see reasons for appeal. Right? Let's see what they say there. Right? Reasons for appeal in Georgia. Ultimately, an appeal must show that the lower court made a substantial or material error during the trial, right? One that affects the outcome of the trial. A harmless error, even if an error will not change the outcome of the lower court's decision. Understanding criminal procedure and criminals in appeal. What is the most common reason for an appeal? Which Booker did, right? A common appeal is that a decision from the judge was incorrect, such as whether to suppress certain evidence. She didn't suppress nothing, or to impose, listen carefully, or to impose a certain sentence. Aha. Appeals are complicated and sometimes result in the case going back to trial court. This is why I'm telling you guys better step up. I don't know what made y'all think it was over, but it's not. Right? Because Natureboy has to prove he's God. Natureboy has to prove he has been convicted and he has been, look what y'all tried to do to me and you still couldn't keep me down. Not saying that is going to work, but that is in his mind what he has to prove. He's not going to prove guilty, right? So when you say impose a certain sentence, that would be maybe a reason, right? Even though he was even though she tried to get him to take a plea deal or whatever, but for the sentence, we don't know, right? I'm gonna say it again. A common appeal is that a decision from the judge was incorrect, which means even though she said under the grounds of this, I can give you this, right? What are strong grounds for an appeal? Legal errors. Legal errors are mistakes or misapplications of the law during a trial. Procedural errors, new evidence, nope. Inaccurate representation. Huh? You hear that? Unreasonable verdict, right? So this time, uh, it so there are reasons why and how he can try to get an appeal. I'm convinced his brain is really the size of a pea. No, okay, but we got to talk legally now, right? Hey, brethren, right? We have to talk legally. Right about now, I'm not talking. I'm just reading what they say, right? Y'all already know how I feel. But if they're going to go back for a new trial, right? And each time, everything was explained to, hey, me, the great one, everything was explained to Nature Boy, right? Everything was explained. But for him to get an appeal lawyer, there has to be something that she feel. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't mean she's going to win. It's something that she feel, even if it's according to his sentence, right? But in all reality, that was all the sentences added together, right? It was added together. Hey, Marquise, right? So let's get back to that. Where are you? So legal errors, that's a no. Procedural errors, that would be a no. New evidence is a no. Inaccurate, I'm saying it wrong, but representation. They're going to try to throw Booker under the bus, right? They're going to try to throw him under the bus, right? An unreasonable verdict, right? Them the two things they're going to try to work on, right? That's why when Booker asks Brianna, did you say no? They're gonna forget the part where she just seen them girls get beat up, right? They are now getting their lives together. They're pulling themselves together for just in case there is a new trial, right? Just in case there is a new trial. So even though he is still guilty as hell because he told on himself. That does not take away the inaccurate representation or unreasonable verdict, right? What are successful grounds for an appeal? What is the best grounds for an appeal? A false arrest? No. Improper omission or exclusion of evidence, not that damn tape that they put together. Insignificant evidence he told on himself. In inefficient assistance of counsel, right? They're going to try to throw Booker under the bus, right? Sentencing errors, no. What is the best reason for a case to be granted an appeal? An error of law is the strongest type of ground for an appeal because the appellate court reviewing the case does not have to give any weight to what the trial court judge did. Court will look at the law that was supposed. Okay, no, won't be that. What is a good reason for an appeal? There was something unfair about the way their trial took place, right? When appealing against a guilty verdict, a defendant might say, okay, the verdict could not be sustained on the evidence, which he can because he, out of his own mouth, he kept talking and he is the one who said, she said no, right? There was something unfair about their trial took place, right? What is a good reason to appeal? I'm writing a request, which Booker did in enough time. So Booker ain't so bad, but they're going to throw Booker under the bus, which I told Booker. I done told Booker, but he didn't listen to me. I said, Booker, they're going to F your name up. I'm writing to appeal my current disciplinary status to apologize for my involvement in the flaw, which led to my being placed. Okay, I realized that what seemed harmless fun. Okay, no, 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 no. What are the chances at winning an appeal? According to the analysts of tens of thousands of applicants, cases cited by United States courts, between 5 and 15% of appeals are successful, depending on the specific type of an appeal. It is crucial that you know how to build a strong and comprehensive case to win an appeal, right? How do you get a good, successful appeal? Okay. Ensure every argument is concise and directly support your case. So that's what Miss Hightower is doing now, right? Focus on presenting strong evidence and legal precedent that bluster your points. It's also important to follow the specific formatting and submission guidelines set by the applicant court, as failing to do so, you can undermine your case, right? Why, when appeal be denied? The appeal may be denied if you cannot show the lower court made a legal mistake. Some of these mistakes include a violation of your rights, a biased trial judge, she wasn't biased, or denial of counsel. They're going to throw Booker under the bus. Is it worth nothing that appellate courts have broad discretion in deciding whether to even listen, right? So he got to see if they even listen to him. What is the most common ground for an appeal? The reason for an appeal, however, a common reason is that the dissatisfied side claims that the trial was conducted unfairly or that the trial judge applied the wrong law or applied the law incorrectly, right? This is, it's something in there that Miss Hightower decided to take on the case because they feel it was unfair. But what they don't understand is more shit could come out, right? More stuff can come out. More what are the three decisions that can be made? I think we went to that. So either he is trying to get a new trial. Hey, Miss Leo, counsel. Yeah. They feel it was unfair because she something, not a good reason. Oh no, it was more reasons. Because again, I'm going through all the reasons. I'm going through all the reasons. And again, they're gonna throw Booker under the bus and plus his sentencing, right? They also feel that is unfair, right? I'm not saying he's going to win, but they have to go under these guidelines, and these are the guidelines that Nature Boy been saying, right? He can say it, he can fight for it. That doesn't mean he's going to win. But what I will say is the ex-members better step up. The ex-members better step up. They need to go make their own claims, right? Rihanna needs to make her own claims, even though she's going to say, "Hey, I did not actually say no," but now she has to explain why was she scared to say no, right? When he and then she's going to have to go into deeper, even even if they have a redo, they're going to give plus 10, making it life plus 20. I don't understand what you're saying, Miss Leo. You have to write that again. Even if they redo, they're going to give plus 10. They're going to, okay, right? But my thing is, again, I'm trying to get the other members to make their own cases. Because what's going to happen, they're going to add 10 more years to the sentence he already have. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. All we do know is if he puts that judge, if he tried to put that judge credentials on the line and make her seem biased after she was heavily embarrassed, just like they got some stuff, more stuff gonna come out. Tell them, Jack, some more stuff gonna come out. Yes, some more stuff gonna come out. But I'm just reading you guys right now, just reading you the guidelines, right? How long does most appeals take? An applicant court may issue its opinion or decision in as little as a month or long as a year or more. The average time period is 6 months, but there is no time limit. Length of time does not indicate what kind of decision the court will reach, right? So, it might be sooner than what we think. He has a lawyer. Not saying he's going to win, not saying he's going to lose, right? So he's gunning for a new trial where, remember, Booker just had a case. Booker, he done fired all the other lawyers that Booker was not familiar with Nature Boy, all his case, all the people, right? So he didn't have too much time to catch them out there, which they're going to do now if they have a new trial, right? So the question is, if they have a new trial, what happens to the testimonies, right? Do they got to come back? Does their testimony stand? Do they got to come back again and testify, right? They should have known messing with Nature Boy, this was not over, right? This was not over. Yeah, the wheels on the bus go round and round. Hey, Makita, right? That's the legal part, right? We saying no, 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 no. But according to Miss Hightower, she sees something. Miss Hightower sees something, right? Got nothing to do with the drone sisters. It ain't got nothing to do. Miss Hightower sees something we don't see. We are not lawyers, right? That's why we're reading through this. We are not lawyers. So we're going to know what's going on in about 6 months. They are going to tear his behind up and make on state prison when they find, oh, it's already found out. I read the letter. I read the letter. In the beginning, if y'all catch the replay, I read the letter. The lawyer name is Shantae D. Hightower. He has an appeal lawyer. So it's already found out. Miss Hightower wrote the letter to the court saying, hello, anything you got to say now comes through me, right? A sister. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Because they know that black woman ain't no booker. Nature Boy ain't playing with her, right? She come to do a job. She ain't, one thing you can say about a black woman, boy, they don't have to like us, because I know why they don't like us. We ain't playing no games. She ain't playing no games with Nature Boy. She ain't playing them games. She ain't playing them games with them drone sisters. She ain't playing with them. She's going to put them in their place. She's going to make them shut up. She's going to make them do things that Booker could not. And then after what happened to Nature Boy, I believe he's going to listen to Miss Hightower. Things done changed now. Things done changed. He with the big boys now. So what Miss Hightower tells him to do, he's going to do it. That's what changed. They done tore his behind up on the first night, less than 24 hours. He wants to get the hell up out of there. But he's gonna have to control his wannabe message. Juju gonna have to shut up. Jack's gonna have to shut up. You can't keep proclaiming he's my, you know about Jesus? This is my Jesus. This is my Lord. This is my Savior, right? So what's happening is all the people who thought that he was cooked, now that they know he might got a chance, all of them who denounce Nature Boy is now going to come back swinging for Nature Boy, and he's going to pick up more traction on his side, right? He's going to pick up more traction on his side, right? Because people don't care if he's a cult leader. People don't care how much abuse he have done. People don't care about Mama Dia. People don't, everything we care about, they don't. That's reality. They do not. What Macon State Prison is doing, and what that doesn't take away his rights, right? At Makita, it doesn't take away the man's rights. The man has a right, as according to Shantae D. Hightower, he has rights, right? Does that mean he's going to win? No, it does not. But his voice will be heard Again, that's going to happen. Now, let's see. Let's see. How do you? How long does it take to be granted appeal? These are the reasons for an appeal. Okay, Georgia appeal process, right? The court process in Georgia varies depending on the type of appeal. A criminal case, if you are found guilty in a criminal case or jury trial, you have the right to appeal within 30 days, which Booker did. Booker did that. Booker should have minded his business, but Booker did it, right? The appealing party or appellant must file a notice of appeal. He did. Okay, Superior Court, you must, okay. You can file an appeal for eligibility decision by phone. You can also request an administrative review of your case without appealing. Most appeals in Georgia go to the Georgia Court of Appeals, but appeals of capital K, we ain't gonna do that. Go to Supreme Court, right? To have it overturned, and applicants must follow specific procedures. Okay. How does Georgia court appeal work? Let's see that. Uh, are appeals hard to win? Winning an appeal is very hard. You must prove that the trial court made legal mistakes that caused you harm. The trial court does not have to prove it was right, but you have to prove there was a mistake. So it's very hard to win an appeal, right? What is the 40 rule in Georgia? 4040 supersedes an emergency emotions. The notice of appeal filed as a OCGA shall serve, okay, supersedes upon payment of all costs, okay. I wanted to see, can an appeal make things worse? Sometimes an appeal can make things worse. For example, a losing appeal might create a precedent that costs that appellate more in the long run. Moreover, an applicant win can be costly if a new trial ultimately results in a larger verdict, right? So basically, he can only getting a larger verdict. Ooh wee. What are the 5 rules in Georgia court? Okay. What's not to say in the appeal letter? What is the best way to win it? Let's see. What's the best way? What are the strong grounds for an appeal? Let's see. Legal errors? I don't think so. Procedural errors? I don't know. New evidence? That'll be a no. When I say inaccurate representation, they're going to throw Booker under the bus, right? Unreasonable doubt. So I think that's what they're going to go with. Inaccurate representation. Okay. What is the best reason for it to be granted appeal? An error? Nah. Okay. Court did not have to give any weight to the trial. Court judge did. The applicate court will look at the law that was supposed to be applied and decide whether or not the trial judge just made a mistake. No, the jury did that. What are the chances? 5 to 15%, right? So, again, they're going to throw Booker. Hey, Donna. They're going to throw Booker under the bus. They're going to roast, they're going to try to say, they're going to throw him under the bus. I wonder if she really sees something, or is she going to try to make up something, because attorneys. That's exactly. I believe she's going to make shit up. She's going to make stuff up, because they're even with their videos, with the injustice, whatever their videos was, they're going to try to throw the T video back up in there, right? They better have they proof to it was already proven that he makes them say love, right? He makes them say love. This is why the internet is not good for everybody, right? People got the right to do whatever they want to do, right? People got a right to tell their story. But when you're talking about anything you say can and will be used against you, anything you say can and will be used against you, right? So at that point, where her saying she didn't want to be second best and all of that, that's not hard to prove that it doesn't matter, because everybody felt that he made them feel that way. So she didn't set him up for Bape any other time she left. They all left and came back because they didn't want to be number 2, right? They all did that, right? So again, the ex-members better step up and tell what the fuck went down. Tell what really went down, because they're trying to make him a human being. That's what they didn't do before. That's what Booker could not do, right? And in this video, I'm going to present to y'all, again, these videos just started coming up, right? Because they're trying to make him a human being instead of a monster, right? You're going to see a bunch of new videos. So let's start, right? Let's start right there, right?
Who are you? Angels of the Most High, divine angels of light.
Sentence sending Bishop to prison for life.
This unbiased and
See
detailed
that?
documentary
This unbiased in detail. They want to make him human. Yeah, we have our side. They have their side. They want to sway the decision and make him human, right? Not saying that he's not human, but they're trying to make us feel sorry for him, like he's a little boy that's hurt, and this is why he did the things that he did, right?
series will chronicle the full story of Natureboy, from his birth in Harlem to the leader of Carbonation, his spiritual cult that traveled throughout Central America. The story is quite intriguing. Some say Natureboy's life sentence was his karma. You be the judge.
I'll tell you a story about me. Reflection! Who are we? Carbonation! What is carbonation? The Christ conscious! Who are you? Angels of the Most High, divine angels of light! Who am I? The Honorable Master Teacher Natureboy, Commander-in-Chief of the Earth Plane, my highest self!
Who am I?
Queen Eliana, Commander-in-Chief of the Earth Plane, my highest self! Where do you come from? The highest frequency of the sun. And what is your mission?
To collect the elite and prevent the weak.
Free flag, shoot! I love myself.
I love myself.
These are my motherfucking worshipers, and that's what the fuck they do. They sit around and look at me all day in awe. Everything that I say, they stuck on me. It don't matter what I do. It no matter what I say, they're gonna be there. That's how they are, because I'm a God. I'm a real God in real life. These people is my slaves, bro. Are these the best servants that the African American people have to offer? No. This is good practice.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. For those of you not familiar with Natureboy or carbonation, you're probably thinking to yourself right now, what the fuck is this? To get a full understanding and a detailed answer to that question, we have to start the story in Harlem in the year 1982.
New York's Harlem, the nation's largest black ghetto, its worst slum, and perhaps its largest breeding ground for crime on the streets.
The war on drugs, the crack era. I emerged from that.
Although the crack epidemic wouldn't start until a few years later and totally destroyed inner cities throughout the United States, in the early 80s, most inner cities were already in shambles because of heroin. Harlem at the time was the epicenter of the heroin trade and had been for decades.
In just this 1 square mile of Harlem, police estimate that 20,000 of the 80,000 who live here, 1 out of every 4, are heroin addicts and therefore muggers, purse snatchers, shoplifters.
Harlem was a stomping ground of numerous drug kingpins that made millions off of heroin, such as Bumpy Johnson.
Now, if you notice, I already told you guys before, in 82, his mama would have been pregnant in 81. You notice they saying the same things that I said. Heroin. He was not a crack baby. Crack wasn't out then, right? It wasn't out. But again, it was still a war on drugs, and his mother was an addict. So maybe he was born with heroin. I don't know. But again, they're trying to put these things out so he can look human, right?
Pee Wee Kirkland, Nicky Barnes, and Guy Fisher, just to name a few. Throughout the 70s, a 7-man group known as the Council, led by Nicky Barnes, controlled the heroin trade. Harlem was their home base. The Council would distribute heroin to multiple cities throughout the U.S. and generate millions of dollars. Nicky had been dubbed Mr. Untouchable by the media after successfully beating multiple charges and arrests throughout that era. In June of 1977, Nicky Barnes appeared on the front page of the New York Times. This would prove to be his downfall. Former President Jimmy Carter read the article and ordered the Department of Justice to aggressively prosecute Nicky. In January of 1978, just 7 months after the New York Times cover, Nicky would be sentenced to life without parole. Guy Fisher, along with other council members, would take over the operation once Nicky was sentenced. It was around this time that Guy Fisher would use drug money to purchase the world-renowned Apollo Theater. He would make history by being the first black person to own it. By 1982, the council was responsible for the majority of heroin across the entire eastern seaboard. But the council's deadly grip on the heroin trade wouldn't last long. After Nicky learned Guy Fisher was involved in a sexual relationship with one of his girlfriends, he decided to turn informant.
Now, go ahead, tell me what it is you have in mind. I have a friend of mine that was supposed to be doing things, you know. Yeah. And, well, they're doing things against me, really. Mm-hmm. And I have no way to reach out to get to them, and I want to get back at them, really. Mm-hmm. That's my primary.
As a result of Nicky turning informant, Guy Fisher, along with multiple members of the council and many of their associates, were arrested and charged with multiple offenses from drugs to murder.
Former associates of Harlem drug king Leroy Nicky Barnes charged today with narcotics conspiracy and 6 murders. As Jim Van Sick
Theater as a historical landmark. Just a few weeks later, on April 29th, and just a short distance away from the Apollo, in New York's Presbyterian Hospital, Eligio Prada, aka Natureboy, was born. He would be born addicted to heroin that had most likely been pushed into the streets of Harlem by members of the council. Natureboy was the 4th of 5 children born to his mother, Patricia Covington. She gave him the nickname Lee when he was a baby.
That's my mom, and that's my dad, y'all.
And that's me as a baby.
His father, Eligio Prada Sr., would die from a heart attack soon after this picture was taken. At the time of Nature Boy's birth, him and his family lived in East Harlem's Wagner Projects on 10 Palladino Avenue, apartment 10E. Nature Boy was too young to remember Wagner, but his sister Nisha, who's older than him by 7 years, would later explain what life was like in the projects back then.
It was a lot of memories, I could tell you that much. Not all good memories, but it was a lot of good memories. It was good memories there.
A few months before Nature Boy's second birthday, him and his siblings were taken into state custody for neglect because of his mother's drug abuse. Within the next year, his mother would die from an overdose.
My mom died when I was 2 years old. I wasn't able to get to know her nor understand or remember her.
My mom passed in 84. Right before my mom died, we were all taken away. She was street. That's why she died so young. She died at 33. You can't be doing nothing but the street if you're dying at 33. I don't care what my mother was doing or what she did or what she ever did or where she ever came up short. I would never disrespect her, even down to this day right here, if she was alive.
After his mother died, Nature Boy and his siblings would become wards of the state. Him and his little brother Leo would stay together, while the rest of the siblings would be split up. Nature Boy's rough start at life would prove to be the catalyst of a series of unfortunate events that would end up molding him into the troubled and unstable adult that he will become in the future.
See, it's all about perspective.
After being separated from their siblings, Nature Boy and Leo will begin their long journey through the New York City foster system.
Going to foster home, that's all I remember. And his ass is right next to me.
By the time Nature Boy and Leo were around 7 or 8 years old, they were repeatedly getting kicked out of foster homes for constantly fighting. The state had no choice but to separate them.
So we fought. I kind of remember there was always a competition with him and me. They separated us.
After Nature Boy was separated from his brother, he was sent to a foster home in Queens that was headed by a couple named Mr. and Mrs. Pope. It was around this time that he began exploring his sexuality. He stated that he began humping boys and girls whenever he got the chance. He would even admit to engaging in a sexual act with an animal.
As a child, I ain't gonna lie, I let a dog lick my penis, and it felt good, and I don't regret it either, because at the time it made me feel good.
Nature Boy would later share stories of being sexually abused and also being forced to engage in sexual acts with other foster children, while Mr. Pope would take pictures.
I'm sad that happened to him. But just like, wow, fucked up. I think that it probably take it to call anybody. Probably would have turned out to be a different person.
He would later tell a social worker and was ultimately removed from the foster home. Nature Boy would be reunited with his brother, and together they lived in this building in Patterson Projects in the Bronx with a foster mother named Miss Dukes. Sometime between the years of 1989 and 1993, Nature Boy and Leo were both adopted by the Bishops, a middle-class couple in Willingboro, New Jersey. They lived in this house on Evergreen Drive.
Both of us got adopted, so our last names changed. So all of a sudden, both our last names from Bishop.
We had 2 fruit trees in the backyard. Check that out. So we was back in the back, climbing those trees, eating fruit all day.
Although the Bishops were financially well off, Nature Boy would later recall being denied the simplest things while living in their household.
They wouldn't let us use a washing machine. I had to wash my clothes by hand. She wouldn't let me have lights in my room. Like, there was no light in my room. It was just a dresser.
Soon after being adopted by the Bishops,
darkness.
Soon after being Bishops were financially well.
Now that would be Mr. Bishop, right? That'd be Mr. Bishop. Now remember, guys, yeah, Nature Boy did say that, right? He did say that. You probably don't remember, but he did say this, and as you can hear, them are his words too, right? Them are his words, right? Remember, he said that. Little did he know. No, but I played it before, Miss Leo. He said this, right? And then again, they got to go back into his history because they have to make him look human, which they were not able to do before, right? So this is why he does not belong out of jail. He belongs in a padded cell, right? He belongs in a padded cell. He does not need to be out where he can harm anybody. The story alone makes you say, God dang it, what he gonna do to regular people? Yes, in the foster care. That's where he went. The house that they showed, Mr. Polk was the worker. He had foster kids in the place, right? So he still was the worker. Yeah. He was the one who was watching him play with the other, do what he was doing to the other kids. Remember? You trying to see. That boy still asleep. Maybe put them nuggets in there. Right? Mr. Polk was the social worker at the foster care. Right? But it just so happened the foster care that he was in the house. Right? So he's the person that ran the foster, who was in the foster care. But again, they're making him look normal. They're trying to say everything that would happen in his life. Even then, at the age of 8 or 9, he started messing with them other kids. That part is true, right? In that house with Mr. Polk, right? Mr. Polk was watching him and said, hey, who? Okay. And then they was taken to Jersey, right? But is that to say everything that they're saying is true? No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Does that mean every single thing is correct? No. But are these events that been spoken of? Yes. But that even with these events spoken, make me feel this man is not fit to be in society. The more I hear about it, the less he deserves to be in society. I can't feel sorry for him. If that made his brain insane, he need to be in a padded cell. Well, let's carry on.
Law. Nature Boy would later recall being denied the simplest things while living in their household.
They wouldn't let us use a washing machine. I had to wash my clothes by hand. She wouldn't let me have lights in my room. Like, there was no light in my room. It was just a dresser, darkness.
Soon after being adopted by the Bishops, Nature Boy and Leo were both diagnosed with behavioral disorders, and they were both put on medication.
I had hyperactive. He just had attention deficit disorder. Some of us, I don't know.
She took us out of regular school and put us in special ed. She put us on Ritalin so she can get an SSI check for us. She used us as a hustle because she wanted to adopt us. She topped us because she was trying to make a check.
According to Nature Boy, the chores seemed endless. He recalled working for hours upon hours in Mrs. Bishop's garden and having endless chores in and outside the house.
She made us slave in her garden, and she was a very mean lady.
The Bishops owned a church, so attending service every Sunday and having Bible study on a regular basis was mandatory. As time passed, the Bishops began using corporal punishment as a form of discipline. Getting spanked with a belt was to be expected if they broke the rules.
I didn't mind, like, getting my ass beat up if I did something wrong or, chastise. He only God loved the ones who he chastised. I didn't take it as a bad note. I was like, I don't have to do that no more because I can't sit down.
While Leo understood spankings to be a form of discipline, Nature Boy thought the complete opposite. He looked at it as pure abuse.
I was abused by the Bishops. They abused me.
After a few years of living with the Bishops, Nature Boy started running away from home as a form of rebellion. Soon he began getting arrested for breaking into cars and houses with friends from his neighborhood.
I got locked up for robbery, burglary, breaking the entry. Nigga, I got locked up for everything. Nigga, I don't know what I was locked up for. I was so young, I was committing so many crimes.
At the age of 14, Nature Boy was ultimately sentenced as a juvenile to serve 5 years incarceration.
They told me I had 5 years, but to me, that seemed like a lifetime.
He would first be sent here to Jamesburg Detention Center, where he would stay until just after his 16th birthday. He then was sent to another facility where he would stay for another 2 years.
I just wanted to die. Try to slice my wrist, try to kill myself, like everything. I remember hanging myself. I hung myself in my cell.
After multiple threats and attempts to commit suicide, they transferred him to a mental institution.
I was in that bitch for 6 months. Every 2 months I had to go to court. I went to court 3 times. And the judge kept saying, look, if he ain't on no medication, then we can't keep him here.
It was around this time that Nature Boy will ultimately track down his sister Nisha.
I got a call and he was like, it's her, it's my sister, it's my sister.
I was looking for you all my life. I was looking for you. And I found you. Yes, you did.
He was also able to get in contact with his older sister Tanya.
Tanya was like, yo. And yo, she was one of the niggas. My older sister Tanya, she was one of the niggas like, yo.
Through Tanya, he was able to find out his older brother Demetrius, also known as Bam, was currently serving time in a New York State prison. In 2001, soon after his 19th birthday, Nature Boy was released and ended up moving back in with the Bishops. But after an argument, they kicked him out.
They didn't give a fuck about me. I was on my own.
Nature Boy would bounce from house to house, living with friends in Willingboro, until moving to Philly in late 2001. He lived with a friend on this block, 27th and Tasker in South Philly, and worked as a security guard for a few months, until he decided to join the Army.
You couldn't take the Army. Discharge his ass. He was trying to get me to go to the Army. I'm not going to nobody's Army. Not there.
According to Nature Boy, he was honorably discharged once they found out he had a history of mental illness.
I was kind of lucky probably because I didn't have to go to war, because they were sending niggas straight from their duty stations right to Iraq.
My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
After narrowly avoiding going to war in Iraq, Nature Boy would move back to Philly with his friend, before enrolling in Job Corps in Maryland. During his time in Job Corps, his friend in Philly was found murdered in his house.
Somebody killed him in a tub. And I used to live in the same house. Somebody ran up in this shit and killed him.
Philadelphia police are investigating a homicide.
Police returned to the scene today searching for evidence. So far, no suspect information or any arrests.
Nature Boy would leave Job Corps soon after the death of his friend. He linked up with his brother Leo, and the two of them would ultimately travel to New York to live with their sister Nisha.
He went and got Leo and they both came to my house. I was living in the Bronx on the Shooter Parkway.
Nature Boy and Leo would live with Nisha for a few months, until an argument resulted in them leaving her house.
One day I came from work and Lee came in and told Leo, get your shit, we out of here.
They headed to Augusta, Georgia to live with their older sister Tanya. Nature Boy quickly landed a job at this slaughterhouse, where he worked 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week. Over the course of time, Nature Boy and Tanya began to clash, and after a physical altercation, Tanya kicked him out.
They had a disagreement, but he punched Tanya in the face. Then that's how they kind of fell out.
Leo stayed living with Tanya as Nature Boy found himself homeless. He lived on the streets of Augusta for a few weeks until he got in touch with an old friend from Philly. He learned his friend had recently moved to Atlanta, and the friend urged him to come stay with him. Nature Boy took his friend up on the offer and headed to Atlanta. He got a job as a barber and navigated through Atlanta by meeting different women and using them for their cars and a place to stay.
I used my body. I used my looks.
After settling into his new surroundings, he started modeling, but that would only last a short period of time. His main source of income would be from cutting hair.
But that cutting hair shit wasn't making money fast enough for me, man, because what I was trying to do and what I was trying to be wasn't good enough. So the way I was staying afloat was I was selling weed and I was cutting hair.
By this time, he had a girlfriend, but after breaking up with her, he found himself homeless once again. Everything would change for Nature Boy when he was presented with an opportunity to make money stripping at gay strip clubs. Feeling like this was his best option at the moment, he seized on the opportunity.
Yeah, I made a lot of money doing that.
Nature Boy was given the name Tyson because they said he resembled Tyson Beckford. In a matter of months, he was headlining shows throughout the country and abroad.
I was the #1 dancer that was hosting the shows all in every gay arena.
I was just a point in my time in my brother's life that's what he wanted to experience, and it is what it is. We never grew up on shit like that.
It was sometime after coming to Atlanta, he would have his first son by a woman named Javine. They would name him Eligio Jr., EJ for short. A few years later, he would begin dating a single mother of two named Maisha. She would eventually give birth to Osiris, Nature Boy's second son.
Maisha, that's my girl, man. This is one of his baby mothers. She get along with me better than she do with her own baby daddy. That's crazy.
As a way to make more money, Nature Boy began escorting for gay men as a side hustle while continuing to work in the strip clubs.
I was someone that was a straight male that was comfortable enough to allow my body to be utilized by somebody for their pleasures. So I was what you call a prostitute, a male prostitute. Basically, I was gay for pay. I was a boyfriend experience for gay men, and I seen all the down low men. I seen them all.
It was sometime during his first few months in Atlanta that Nature Boy was starring in gay porno. His decision to do this would eventually come back to haunt him in the future.
You see me on that doctor table, I regret that. That was a stupid thing I did in my life.
Nature Boy would later state he had always been attracted to transsexuals, but never had sex with one until he started working as a stripper.
I'm attracted to transsexuals because they're more women than the women that we have. And I'm being honest with myself. When I seen them in the club, I had an experience with one, and I was having sex with her in the back, and that was an experience I never had in my life. And it's something that I never could get with a woman.
As Nature Boy got deeper into the stripper lifestyle, he began to drink heavily and would become physically abusive towards Maisha whenever he got drunk. As time went on, the abuse got more severe.
I'm a gorilla, I'm a motherfucking beast. Ask Maisha, go talk to her, ask her who the fuck I am.
One of the worst incidents of abuse towards Maisha was when they got into an argument at a nightclub. Maisha left the club and went home, but just as she was about to go to sleep, she heard a noise outside of her house.
I look out the window, he's stabbing my tires to my car. So I go to the door, he like, come outside. I'm like, nah, like, you've been drinking, I know you. I don't do you with alcohol, like, go ahead. He pulls me outside, and I was holding onto the door. So when I held onto the door, I closed it. And he grabbed me, dragged me down the stairs, he got on top of me, he was beating my face in. And I don't know how the police just pulled up in the yard. They saw him on top of me, and they pulled him off of me. When I was hitting her, a cop came out of nowhere. A cop pulls me off her because I'm trying to fucking murder her.
The beating would leave Maisha's entire face swollen and bruised. She was immediately rushed to the hospital.
The yard, they saw him on top of me, and they pulled him off of me. When I was hitting her, a cop came out of nowhere. A cop pulls me off her because
Do y'all hear this? He said, I was trying to murk her, right? These are his own words. This is how vile this man is, right? And I don't understand, right? I don't understand how when God intervenes, and send an angel to help you, you turn around, because remember, if I'm not mistaken, she didn't have the son yet. She got back with him, if I'm not mistaken. I could be. Don't hold me to it. But anytime somebody says out of nowhere, a cop came, and then you turn around and go against God. Doesn't matter if you don't believe in him or not, but something intervened. Because he said, I was trying to murk her, which means he was trying to take his bare hands, and take the life out of her with his own hands. Do y'all understand what this man said? And again, no remorse. He's mad because a cop came. Like, I don't understand how Naisha did not understand what happened. She doesn't understand at that point in time she's created Nature Boy. She has created Nature Boy. I'm not blaming anything on her, but at that point in time, when the universe intervenes and save your life, then you turn around and write a letter to undo what the universe did and save your life. You're going to have to live with forever. You have now created this guy called Nature Boy. He is no longer a Lee, he's no longer Prada, and he's no longer Bishop. He is Nature Boy, right? She does not take any responsibility for his actions. His actions is all his own. She doesn't have to take responsibility for his actions. But what she did not do was say, oh my God, this is a sign. This is a sign. I think I better let it go. Let it go. She didn't think it. She didn't think this man belongs behind bars. And according to how the universe did it, according to how God did it, he sent a cop. That was a clue right there. Like, why did God send a cop? Because God wanted him in jail then, right? God wanted him in jail then. Anytime a man is bragging about, I was trying to murk her, he dragged her down the stairs, got on top of her, and commenced to whipping her behind, which he has always done. He punched his own sister in the face, right? He done abused everybody but Leo, right? Abused everybody but Leo. I told y'all his moms did not pass away when he was 1 because it couldn't have happened because Leo was born. So him and Leo's neck to neck. So it's 3 boys and 2. So far, he has 4 siblings. He has 4 siblings. He got their the 2 sisters and 2 brothers. If I'm not mistaken, 2 of them are gone. They have ascended. So it's just Leo, Naisha, and Nature Nut. Right? So even as y'all humanizing him, y'all still it's not working, right? It's not working, right? Well, he claimed he didn't live there anymore. He said how the story go, he used to live there, and come to find out the guy that he was living with got murked in the apartment. But again, we don't know, right? We don't know. Don't mix it with the white clothes. There's no white clothes on the floor. Don't mix. Oh. So I know they're trying to humanize him, but for me, it's like a damn horror show, right? It sounds like a horror show. This person who's doing it is simply doing it as a series, right? He's doing it as a series, because it's a lot of different any show that you're going to see if they do decide to do a show, a Netflix or whatever. It doesn't take away. This is how it's going to go. They have to show the beginning of his life until they get to where it's at. Any show you watch, gonna be the same way. Gonna be the same way, right? So I think that's all that this particular person is doing, right? Is creating their own Netflix before Netflix or whatever do it themselves. That's just what I want to say. So if you're going to tell the story, you have to tell the whole story. Are there a few typos, as in how to exactly? Of course it is. Of course it is. There's in some inconsistencies? Yes, right? But is it all inconsistencies? We don't know, right? we know nothing. So they're doing a hell of a job. That's why I want you guys to see it. But the more I hear this story, the more I hear, right? The more I hear is making Lucifer look bad. Right? This piece of ish is making Lucifer look bad. But that just cringed my soul for a second, right? It cringed I touched the wrong button, guys. So it's that, right? But like I said, what Maisha did not understand was at that point in time, that's when Nature Boy were born. Because all that other stuff, him being in and out of jail, that means nothing. He was in and out of force. No, this would have been grown man's jail where he at now. This would have been grown man jail, right? In the minute she saved him, he knew he can manipulate. He knew he can gaslight. And his ass, even right about now, he's trying to get his ass saved. I mean, his behind, or damn, y'all know what I mean. He's trying to get saved, right, from the things that he does. Like Nature Boy also has a history of doing the most demonic, evil, twisted shit and get away with it, right? And get away with it. The ex members need to step up, right? As I keep saying, them ex members step up, step up, because baby, the devil and them working overtime. The devil working overtime trying to save him. And again, by law, are you guys going to let it happen? By law, you guys have the power. The same way Maisha had the power. Are they going to let let him get away with all the grievous things that he have done to people? So we got to think about it that way, right? So let me finish. I just wanted to rewind that. I just happened to touch the wrong button and and then it cut off. But I'm gonna rewind that little part because it's terrible.
They pulled him off of me. When I was hitting her, a cop came out of nowhere.
When I was hitting her, a cop came out of nowhere. A cop
pulls me off her
a cop pulls me off of her because I was trying to
I'm trying to fucking murder her.
He said, I was trying to, like, forget the murk part, the part, like I didn't do it. I'm very upset. I didn't do it. Do you guys understand what this man is saying right now? He's saying, I didn't do it. He couldn't get the job done. He's very upset. He did not take this woman's life. He's very upset. And y'all still listening to these men? Oh, the children need their father in their life. Hell no. Hell no. I don't think so. I don't think so. You how to say? Put a message in the bottle, baby. You better put a message in the bottle. You better put a letter on a pigeon. God damn it. That's the only way you're gonna get a message to my kid. Right? Somebody he said, ah. Listen to that ah. Listen to the ah in his voice. This ninja is hit again. No remorse. No remorse. No remorse. That's right. Tell it, Marquise. Exactly. You better put a message in the bottle, baby. Well, well, well. Here's my number in the dial. Call me anytime. But you're going to call me, but though you will not see me or mine ever. When somebody is upset and they so excited, like, oh, I just felt my hands just pow, 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 pow. And every time he hit that girl, he felt good. Like the same way he kicked Malaya in the stomach and it felt good. It felt so good. Every time he beat somebody, every time he beat a woman, it feels so good. Gonna get me started. All right now, Marquise, right? This neglect right here, he got so much joy out of hurting people. And even when he, since younger to now, he got joy. He got joy out of touching on them kids. He got joy out of that. He don't know how he screwed them boys up. He don't care how he screwed them boys up. He was exploring his sexuality. This is an 8, 9-year-old. What do you think you exploring your sexuality? Huh? Them boys got to live with that forever. Them boys that he did it to, as of today, still living with that forever. The little girls living with that, but especially the little boys, is living with that forever. And I've never seen somebody so excited about beating somebody's ass and very upset because Popo came. Right? Very upset because he wanted to Merca. That's what he said. I didn't say that. If this is the human side, baby.
Police just pulled up in the yard. They saw him on top of me, and they pulled him off of me. When I was hitting her, a cop came out of nowhere. A cop pulls me off her because I'm trying to fucking murder her.
The beating will leave Maisha's entire face swollen and bruised. She was immediately rushed to the hospital, and Natureboy would be arrested for aggravated battery.
The case went on for almost like a year. The judge who was on the bench, he was ready to throw the book at him.
I said to the universe, if you let me off this case, I promise you, I will never get in another assault, another battery, nothing. I will never do no violent shit no more, nothing, yo.
Natureboy went.
Now, this man goes on to say, he didn't say I was sorry. He didn't say I feel bad. He didn't have no remorse. Again, only thing he said is, universe, get me out of here. I'll never do it again. Right? The same way we see a cycle with the abuse, we also see a cycle with him getting out of shit and not giving no F's, right? Of course, narcissist people don't give no F's. The sad part about it is the people who believe in him, right? And we are never going to be able to get them not to believe in him. I just hope that the justice system system do not fail its citizens. Because every time we turn around, he comes out worse, right? He comes out worse from fighting with the sister, from fighting with the, when he was younger, got worse. The first sister got worse. The second sister got worse. The people he stayed with got worse. Maisha, after her, he got worse. He was all, this man should never have been on the street. Never. They did not do what they were supposed to have done with Natureboy. They just said they kicked him out of the military, so he say, because he had mental issues, which means they were not putting a pow-pow in that man's hands. That means they were not going to put a pow-pow in that man's hands because he mentally, no. And they let him out to the public. They let him out to the public. I commend you, Judge Hydrick, for doing the best you can. We don't know how this appeal is going to be, but we applaud you. We applaud them jurors, right? I don't like them that much that I wanted them to make a mistake. They told the truth and nothing but the truth.
Would end up avoiding a prison sentence when Maisha wrote a letter to the prosecutor taking half the responsibility for the fight. Instead of prison, Natureboy was sentenced to an anger management class and a fine. Even after a full year, the bruises on Maisha's face still weren't fully healed.
I had forever these dark bags up under my eyes that stayed, and it was just nothing but probably, they were saying it was old blood. He encouraged me to get makeup to hide it because he also was tired of looking at me like that.
Natureboy and Maisha would eventually get back together with the hopes of leaving the past behind them and moving forward.
I got sick in depression on what I did with her. Like, this is a deep relationship.
It was after this incident that Natureboy would leave the stripping and escorting life behind him.
I was an exotic entertainer for the longest, man. It was like sweet money, man. It was like, hey, I get to be myself, be sexy, and have sex and get money. Hell yeah, sign me up. What I realized is that people only seen me from my body, and I knew I was more than that. After a while, you know, my phone was ringing from sex, and people just see me as this object, and I was realizing, like, damn, why am I using my body to make money? I literally was using my body to make money. It drained me. It taught me a lot about sexuality, though.
Natureboy ended up going to school to obtain his barber's license.
When people was in school with me, they was like, man, what barbershop you going to work at? I never thought to go work at a barbershop. I always thought when I got my barber license, it was for me to go get my own barbershop.
Having been around the gay strip club scene for 10 years, he knew almost everybody in those circles. He printed out business cards and handed them out at numerous gay clubs around Atlanta.
Gay people like their haircuts, so I marketed to them because they like to get their haircut more than anything.
He would also get customers by hanging out in local hotel bars where most tourists hung out.
Before you know it, I was charging $40, $50 for a haircut. I rented me a room. I bought me a barber chair, and I said, this is going to be my little barbershop. You know what I'm saying? And this is going to be Bishop's HD Cuts right here. You get an appointment for an hour. You get in the chair. It was professional. All my equipment was clean. I was licensed. I was getting $50, $60 a cut. I had 40 clients, $50, $60 a cut. Of course, I was cute, so I flirted with them.
Out of Natureboy's 40 or so clients, a few of them had been his previous customers from when he was an escort. One of those customers was a man by the name of Dr. Mike Brown. Mike was the president of a theological seminary and also a world-renowned biblical scholar.
The Holy Spirit isn't already, but immortality is a not yet.
Throughout the years, Mike and Natureboy had become extremely close. In fact, They had become so close that Mike added Natureboy to his bank account and gave him a $3,000 a month allowance. Although Natureboy never confirmed the rumors, many people speculated that him and Mike Brown were actually a gay couple.
Yeah, I saw it my own self. I think they was really pretty close from my standpoint. From outside looking in, it was pretty tight, closer than me and him should have been. Like, so I was like, yeah, let's turn up with them.
In late 2013, seeing how serious Natureboy was about wanting to open up a barbershop, Mike offered him the money to open one.
He's like, how much do you think you would need? I said, yo, 25,000 would be good. He was like, okay, get me a business plan.
Natureboy got a business plan written up and found a location. After a few months of remodeling, Bishop's HD Cuts officially opened its doors for business on June 21st, 2014. Natureboy hired a team of talented barbers and hired a hairdresser for the women. Within months of opening the shop, it was showing signs of becoming a success. Not too long after it opened, Leo made his way to Atlanta to link up with Natureboy.
I was living in the back of the shop, sweeping up here for tips and running errands.
Natureboy never really gave Leo a reason why, but he told him he didn't want him cutting hair in the shop. So Leo started making money off of talent he had since a kid.
I got on my own land and started drawing people's pictures, whatever they want me to draw from on t-shirts or whatever. That's how I started making my money.
By the end of 2014, Natureboy's personal outlook on life began to evolve. He yearned to leave Atlanta and live life closer to nature.
I've always been someone that was speaking knowledge and information, and so I met people that I could intellectually speak with. We would meet up for dinner and have just these arguments and discussions, and that is what sparked me.
Natureboy said after having these intellectual conversations, he would go back to the barbershop and felt out of place. Slowly but surely, he began to distance himself from the barbershop and stayed home researching everything from natural science to astrology to Black cultural history. As time passed, the feelings of wanting to leave Atlanta and move closer to nature became overwhelming. Natureboy took the first step into ensuring his dream will become a reality. He bought an RV.
When he got in that RV, he said he was going to travel or whatever the case may be. But at that time, I believe he was still seeing if Maisha was going to join him on the journey.
Convincing Maisha wasn't hard. She was excited and looked forward to living on the road and making lifelong memories with her family.
My husband's out here. Here's the RV. Let me show you the RV. Okay. So here's the truck. We just bought the camper RV. So he's getting some work done on the truck, just making sure the truck is strong enough and is working good enough to hold the RV and not give us any problems. Anyway, like I said, we're moving into the RV full time, and I'll show you again. Say hi, Osiris. This is gonna be the first of many videos about us being on the road and going different places. Like I said, we're going to Florida first.
On March 3rd, 2015, Natureboy, Maisha, and the kids left their house in Atlanta and began their new life living in their RV. Natureboy hired a manager to run the barbershop while he hit the road. Leo was left to fend for himself, still living in the back of the shop.
I traveled the whole coast of Florida, stayed at all the RV parks. And mind you, I'm this black kid from the hood, pulling up in an RV. It's nothing but elder white people out there, that retired in their fishing boats and stuff. Like, this is when I knew I was different.
Although Natureboy was out on the open road and experiencing things he'd never done before, there was still a part of him that yearned for more. He felt like he just wanted to disattach himself from society altogether and just leave everything behind. Maisha could sense something was wrong.
She was there with him and she was doing the journey with him, but she was saying that he was seeming to be still unhappy.
Just a little over a month after leaving Atlanta, Natureboy's plan to live on the road would come to an abrupt end.
My barbershop started to fall apart, so I had to come back.
His friend up on the offer and headed to Atlanta. He got a job as a barber and navigated through Atlanta.
That happened to him. It's just like, wow.
It was sometime after.
If that's Javon, that is not the same lady that was there with young Farrell. The Javon we saw, he said that she was from New York, right? She was from New York and she was heavy set. If this is a Javon, then she's not from New York and she's not heavy set, right? We don't know, right? But we already know we're gonna have part 2 tomorrow. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Right? I already told you he has an appeal. He has an appeal lawyer. We just gotta hope the universe continue to do what's right. This man right here does not belong on nobody's streets. Does not. I don't know how can you have a bias. Like, how do y'all want us to bypass all of this to say, hey, Janae was wrong, she lied? I don't know how anybody will believe that girl lied when he called her back upstairs. If he never called her back upstairs, but he called her back upstairs, that man ain't have good intent when he called her back up them stairs. He did not have good intent at all. And if that man is able to talk, he is going to talk as Dr. Bishop. The whole play is going to be different, right? So they're probably bringing some jurors from out of state. I don't know. He's supposed to be known everywhere. So hopefully the jurors could watch his background. They can see that he's been in and out of mental hospitals, right? They could see the man always had behavioral problems. They could see he beat her up so bad he got mad because he said he wanted to murk her, right? That is a hey fool. No, that wasn't Golden. That was Javine, his first baby mother, right? So like I said, he got a new I don't know. I don't know if he's going to win because I don't. But again, what they're trying to do is throw Booker under the bus. They're going to try to say he did not do his job right. He did not understand the case, and he only lost because of Booker. Legal representation. That's what they're trying to get. I'm coming, y'all. That washing machine was yeah, I had to go on mute. That washing machine was making all that noise. I couldn't even hear myself, right? I couldn't even hear myself. But this is a terrible story of one angry man. One angry man, like I said, Miss Shantae D. Heisentauer feel that he was misrepresented. That's what she feels, right? And she also feels that the sentence was too long, right? But again, that's on her side. That's on her side, right? The problem gonna come in is the other side. Remember they let Aya perjure herself. Did y'all forget they let Aya perjure herself? She said, "Yeah, I sent it, right, without the permission." Because the liars are going to be liars. They let a lot of stuff slide, which they don't understand. They let a lot of stuff slide. Remember, I spoke upon it. Uh, on Shantae's point of view, but Shantae don't realize they let them slide. And how you gonna get mad and gonna try to? No, they're the ones was yelling in court. They was the ones free to three in court. Was none of them held in contempt? The poor judge couldn't even concentrate. What did y'all want the judge to do? He had his little chromies up in there, right? And they're gonna try to get it to again. They're gonna try to get it to where she didn't say this, but when she said I said no, and Nature Boy said that too. I don't think they're worried about that. They're not worried about that. They know that man did that. They just want to prove he was they're gonna just try to prove Booker wasn't the man for the job. But guess what? They shouldn't have hired him. But being that he did have a case just a couple of days before, they're gonna try, God dang it, they're gonna try to say that he was not prepared. And I believe that's the angle that they're going to go with. But we will finish this tomorrow. But again, the ex-members, you need your own cases and you need to step up. You need to take your testimony, right? And then you need to have your own case. Kendra, you need your own case. Right? Brianna, you need your own case. Velvet, you need your own case. Testifying is a beautiful thing, but you did not testify for yourself. You testified for somebody else. You need to testify for yourself. So you could be in more depth with your own words, with your own case. I will keep that neglect in court. But he know, a narcissist know what you ain't gonna do, right? Narcissists know what you ain't gonna do. So I'm gonna end this, and we will continue this tomorrow. Tomorrow. Okay. So let's say our goodbye song, and we're gonna continue this. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget that. Don't forget to do that. Like, comment, and subscribe. Because they're taking For some reason, they're taking my subscribers away. So please, check your thing and see if you're still subscribed. And if you're not, then subscribe again. And if you never subscribe, hit that subscribe so you can be there and get the latest news. Let's go.
In the land of real, there's a love that's true. Sugar love is her name, spreading sweetness too. Her voice like velvet, smooth as a summer breeze. A podcast, the soundtrack to everybody's ears. Sugar love, she's the queen of soul. Ooh, yeah. A podcast, the place where the stories unfold. Ooh, yeah. News and entertainment with a touch so sweet. She's the heartbeat of the community's beat. She brings the news with flavor like a cup of hot tea. Uncovering stories, bringing light to what we see. With her infectious laughter, she uplifts every soul. Sugar love, she's the one who makes us feel whole.